It's the Rams and the Hawks, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today we start the new year with an NFC matchup out west, as it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks. With my good friend Charles Davis in the booth, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and the moment has finally arrived, CD. It's time to begin a new NFL season.
Partner, there's no hiding my excitement as I got ready to...
A new season of NFL football is here, and we're off in 2023 on EA Sports. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And they will be led out by a young man making his first NFL start.
For every rookie prospect, there are always nerves involved in this moment. Running your team out to start a game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him their starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Hold the ready.
Now Stroud. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
Stroud on third down now. It's caught by Aguilar. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll get 8, but they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive because that's not enough. But there you go, Charles, the first completed pass of his young career.
And we expect it not to be his last. Very good to get the first one out of the way, though, as he begins his career.
Fielded at about the 28. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. They'll be led out by the final pick of the first round in 2018 out of Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and
there he goes left side. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Coming in, he really likes his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Back to Walker on first down. Fights him off. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Now this one, CD, an interesting one to start the season in the NFC West. A lot of people think that this is the 49ers division to lose, but you caution not so fast.
Remember Seattle in 2022? A playoff team, and the Rams, they took a dip, a renewed sense of purpose, renewed sense of optimism, and 14 picks used in the NFL draft. The Rams think they can be back a lot quicker.
A first red zone opportunity the new year here as they come up now first and 10. They go play action with Jackson. A repeat of the last play, finding Walker. Touchdown! Kenneth Walker from 13 yards out. And the Seahawks are on the board here first in the season opener. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. And one of the things we like to hit on every year are the new rule changes. And we got a few for 2023. A lot are procedural, having to do with deadlines and roster construction and such. But two kind of caught my eye, Charles. One is the option to fair catch a kickoff and have it come out to the 25 like it does in college. You like that?
I don't like it at all. I don't like it in college. I don't like it in the NFL. I want to have something different. And I really wanted the special teams coaches to be a little bit more involved. But I do understand why the league is doing it. They believe it promotes safety, and it's hard to argue against that.
What about, this is the other one, guys can now wear the number 0. We've already seen some make the switch, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Swift, Braxton Berrios, amongst others.
Yeah, and you know something? When you see those guys make that move, I don't mind that at all right? A little more expressionism for these guys. I love it. I just think we didn't go far enough. What about double 0, like Jim Otto used to wear or Kenny Burrow used to wear? Let's add that back to the NFL jerseys.
They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
On second down, it's Stroud. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
From the gun on third down, here's Stroud. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The former third overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down.
But you just knew that these rushers were eager to do that today. Put him on the ground. Their plan, introduce themselves individually to this rookie quarterback. They said hello in a big way there with a loss of double-digit yards on that sack.
Now on is the punter Long here as he sends this one away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Jackson's throw caught here by Metcalf. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll give. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. There was a little space there, yes, but that was a well-executed run by the rookie.
It was, and he wasn't one of the higher-rated rookie running backs coming out. He's probably on the next tier.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Play action. It's Jackson. That is taken in by the tight end fan. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Seahawks go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Here's Stroud. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Quentin Williams in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day. Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Another completion there. And what a big moment in a young quarterback's life, that first NFL start. And Charles, obviously they want him to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in this first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from him? And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Here's Ty Long now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. Taking on the midfield logo. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And this offense is going to be set up with a 1st and 10 inside the 15. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now it's Jackson. Slant pass complete to Olave. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Jahmyr Gibbs, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. And the Seahawks are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now 21-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Throwing on second and long.
Stroud
Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Brian Burns flying in there and dropping him for the sack. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Stroud backed up near his goal line. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell.
And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
When the rookie QB gets his first touchdown pass, that's one you put in the trophy case. First career interception, that's going to be one he wants to forget.
Yeah, and he's not going to go ask for the football, right? Yeah, you can keep that one. The key for him, what does he learn from it? When he watches the tape, does he have an answer right now where he already understands?
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Kenneth Walker
on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Seahawks are able to widen their lead here in this first half. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And a rout is on here in this first half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away.
Runs through the contact. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
Still going past the 30.
And he'll bring it back all the way.
Touchdown, Seahawks.
And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that makes this 35-0 now. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half.
Here we go. Ready.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down.
Jeremy Chin, so dangerous wherever he's at on the field, and that time he gets in there for the sack. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Stroud now on 2nd down. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Quentin Williams able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Micah Parsons. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays.
Why do you go out and trade for a guy like this defensively? Well, an instant impact in your pass rush is reason number 1.
And let's think about it. You want a guy who can create big plays for your team. Takeaways, fumbles, you name it. That's what you want from the big-time player on the defensive side of the ball.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gibbs. Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. 2nd half with the... And he will score! Touchdown, Seattle! Ken Walker, 14 yards. And the Seahawks will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well, CD, I mean, simply put, if anyone around the league wasn't paying attention to them to start the season, they will be heading into Week 2. This has been an impressive Week 1 performance.
They've certainly announced that they are ready to go, haven't they? They wanted to send a message out to the rest of the league. You better put your eyes on us. We may be someone you have to reckon with. Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Micah Parsons able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 66 yards for him on the ground now, and 3 touchdowns to go along with it. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted,
and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Lamar Jackson with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Seahawks are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their fourth quarter lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Now a hit and a loose football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay,
pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Micah Parsons getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old...
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle.
Jamar Chase,
52 yards.
And the Seahawks continue to pour it on here in the 4th. McPherson now for the extra point.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The football going back to the Rams now. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this fourth quarter. Stroud now on 1st and 10. That caught by Manhurts. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. So that a nice throw, but it hasn't really turned out to be the grand debut that many had hoped for. His team's down double digits. So what have you seen, CD?
About what I expected, really, because for a youngster making his first start in the NFL, I kind of expected to see these things. A few bumps along the way, maybe not the plays you expect to see or want to see. But remember, he's not going to the Hall of Fame on this first start. It's going to be an accumulation of games before we have a fully accurate reading.
The Rams on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Now here's Stroud on 3rd down.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield.
Micah Parsons
able to record his 5th sack of the season. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. He'll take it at the 42.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return.
And we have reached the 2-minute warning. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field.
Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. This one goes underneath to Walker.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost... Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
And out now come the Seahawks. And this is really the start to the season that you're hoping for if you're a coach or a player. They've got the big lead here in the 4th quarter, and now can really take some time off the clock. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. He lets it go deep for Olave. And, oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Jackson. He completes it to Olave. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Despite writing it down in my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Down the sideline he goes. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Oh, let's turn it up. I'm back to work, boys. Let's go. Whatever it takes. I don't care. Let's get on.
Running right, here's Walker. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But
well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Well, this was not just the opener of a brand-new season, but this was a division game here in Week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the